Hi guys, Olga here. It have been a minute since you could hear me here on this channel, but I really like how this project turned out and I got a few questions about the resin, so I thought I will record it for you. I got all my products from Decoupage Queen and they will be linked in the description down below. So let's start with resins. It's Illuminate Amazing Casting Resin and we will start with black. In your set with the resins you have measuring caps and I use them to measure equal amount of part A and part B, as you can see exactly the same amount, and then I just mix them together in the separate cup. You mix them for a few seconds, make sure that you stir them well, and then I poured my frame. For this project I want only outer part of the frame to be filled with black resin. So it takes a while, a lot of patience. Just gently make sure that you poured everywhere where you want. And if you have any resin on the area that you don't want, remove it gently, either with the cotton bud with a little bit of alcohol or wait for it to set and scrape it off. Second part of our frame is transparent. It's epoxy casting resin. It's also aluminite product, and we also have to mix equal parts of A and B. But for this one I use scale and I measured it by weight, and you can see how much thicker that resin is. It's supposed to be a little bit thicker, don't worry. Epoxy resin is just a little bit thicker in the consistency. I start from pouring a little bit into my mold, then spreading it around. Gravity will be your friend over here. Make sure you have nice even layer. And from mixing, we will get bubbles. For sure, you will get bubbles. Most of those bubbles will disappear when the resin sets, but if you are worried about it, and I was quite worried about it, I do debubble it with heat gun. Just don't hold your heat gun over your resin for too long because that will accelerate setting time and it will be mess. When I'm happy with no bubbles, I add a little bit more. This time I want to make sure that I poured enough for my frame to be completely covered with resin. That epoxy resin will stick to our black polyurethane resin and they will merge together in one solid object. Again, I debubbled it and I carefully removed all the things that might fell into a resin or the bigger bubbles or cat hair, whatnot. And after leaving it overnight to set, we have a perfect frame and just look at it. Perfect demolding, amazing details and super cool base for the project. For now, my middle part is still frosty, kind of foggy. We will deal with that later, don't worry, that's how it's supposed to be. I want to paint my frame, so to protect that beautiful crystal part, I just stuck a bunch of masking tape and carefully with my fingernails I made sure that it stuck all the way up to the edge of the frame, and then I removed the excess of tape with my X-Acto knife. Okay, now when my window of the frame is well protected, I don't have to be super careful and can get a little bit messy with my paint. For this project, I picked liquid metal paint from Pendant. It's solvent-based product, so it's a little bit stinky, but you can paint without priming almost any surface for perfect metal-like look. Just leave it for a dry for a few hours in well-ventilated area. I wouldn't be myself if I would not add a little bit of aging and antiquing, and here I'm playing with my very favorite antiquing cream from Pendant. You over apply your product, wait just for a while and then remove the excess with the rag. If it doesn't want to come off, then use a little bit of clear wax and you will have the most authentic patina look ever. We lost a little bit of gold with that antiquing cream, so I'm bringing back the highlights with Pendant gold wax. And first I use fluffy brush for the overall spark, and then just to highlight the frame itself I use more precise brush, and look how nice it looks. Oh my god, I absolutely love that patina plus wax effect. It's time to work on what will be inside of our frame. That big white circle you can see on the screen is a template of the size of inside of my frame, and I decided that I will put some butterflies inside. So I'm cutting out butterflies from the rice paper, and I will use the same rice paper for the background. I want to decoupage one layer of decoupage paper on top of the other, and I don't want to lose the details in those beautiful insects, so I will paint it with the white chalk paint on the back to make sure that the paint do not seep through on the other side of the paper. First I covered them with the coat of decoupage glue to seal the top and make sure that none of that paint will come through, and look how nice it looks. They become perfectly opaque like a sticker. I fussy cut my butterflies and I will place them on top of that decoupaged background. I just make sure that I cover the entire area that will be visible through the window in my frame, and I decoupage the piece of that paper on the white base. That white base is just regular cardstock, it doesn't have to be super thick. I apply a nice coat of decoupage glue underneath and on top of my paper, then I place my butterflies and again apply decoupage glue. I should just apply more decoupage glue and place it on my frame. For whatever reason I decided that clear gloss varnish, the solvent based one, will give me better result. It doesn't give you better results. There is absolutely no reason why you should use stinky varnish at this stage. So I did use clear varnish to adhere my base to my frame, but decoupage glue would work just perfectly fine, and that step was solely unnecessary, but it's in, so we will roll with it. Once our background is attached to our frame, it's time to fix that milkiness that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Resin will not come out beautifully, perfectly smooth and sparkly out of the mold, and that's the moment that we are using the stinky varnish. It doesn't have to be stinky varnish, it just have to be super glossy varnish for that perfect glass-like look. Okay, that's it for today. I hope that you like the project and my video. All the links you will find in the description down below, and stay sparkly and have a very nice and creative day. Bye!